Hello and welcome back to Beyond 50. I'm clearly no longer in China. I'm back home. I've actually been home for a couple of weeks, but it's taken me a little longer than I wanted to get some of these videos together. Bunch of other stuff going on, but I want to give an introduction into this video because it's not really the way that I anticipated that this was going to turn out. When I was planning these videos, I was kind of thinking of just a chronological order of the cities that we went to and almost a diary of, hey, here's what we did, here's what we saw. As I was going through the content that I recorded, I think that actually changing the format a little bit is going to work out a little better and be a little bit more interesting. So I really want to talk about in this video the area that we stayed in Beijing, because it was interesting, and the food that we ate. This will be a little bit more of a food and culture episode for the area that we stayed at in Beijing, and let's get into it. We just arrived in Beijing, made it through customs, no problem. I was faster than Frank. They had to triple check his stuff.
So far, has anything matched
Nothing.
the propaganda that the West gives you?
No, I mean, this feels exactly just like every other airport in the world.
If not better.
I mean, it's bigger and it's kind of bigger and fancier, but there's
and
no.
Cleaner and safer,
yeah, it's really nice.
everything
It's
is
nice.
better.
It's nice. It was. I think everything was really smooth. Getting through both the Seoul airport, like checking in, going through the process there, and then coming out. Honestly, I would say from how long I had to wait in to go through security to come out, right? Like the immigration processing and stuff. 10 out of 10, this is the fastest one I've ever been through. All right, I'm going to let some of this B-roll of the Beijing airport roll in the background while I talk about our first experience with food in China, which happened to be Luckin Coffee, which was actually the coffee shop that we stopped at almost every day on this trip. Before I get into talking about coffee and Luckin Coffee, I want to talk about payment methods. And so one of the things that's a little different about China than literally everywhere else in the world is how you pay for things. And everything you pay for is on a mobile app, and you're either using Alipay or WeChat. And literally everywhere that you shop, everywhere that you purchase anything, you're using Alipay or WeChat. You're not using your credit card. You're rarely using cash. And there's a couple of things to know about using Alipay and WeChat. You need to set them up before you get to China. You need to have some verification steps and some other things that need to happen. And they want your address and some other information. Otherwise, they sort of don't work. In fact, the first couple of days that we were in Beijing, we would go to the Luckin Coffee across the street from our hotel room, and you scan a little QR code, and it'll bring up their local menu. And what you should be doing is just ordering off of that local app, the same as you would with like a Starbucks app here in the US. But that wasn't working, and neither of us could figure out why. It turned out it was because I wasn't fully registered on the app, and that was really what was blocking it from working correctly. Once we got that sorted out, everything just worked fine, and you just, when you would pay for something, you'd scan the QR code, and it would just work. The only one exception for this was, I think, our hotel that we had in Shanghai. Neither Alipay or WeChat was working for either of us, and I ended up having to pay for that with my credit card. I think that's the only thing I paid for on this entire trip directly with a credit card. Here is us in the Shanghai airport walking up to our first Luckin Coffee, and Frank tells me just a little bit of it. It was the first time I'd ever heard it. Ooh, coffee sounds kind of nice right now. I didn't get a coffee earlier.
Luckin Coffee is huge here.
Yeah?
We can do coffee?
I think coffee. I think we're gonna pause content creation and grab a coffee.
In China will be called Luckin Coffee, and that's perfect because us Chinese people love luck.
Yeah? Oh, okay. I kind of figured it was something like that, but...
Oh, you should. Let's first see if your card blinked.
If you watched the last video on Korea, you know that we didn't really plan anything ahead on this trip, partly because of the way that we were traveling. We were flying via standby, and we didn't know when we were going to be somewhere. So we really didn't want to book hotels, et cetera, ahead of time. And so I think our hotel that we booked in Beijing, Frank probably booked a day or so ahead of time. In fact, the great thing for me on this trip was Frank handled a lot of the pre-planning. The minor bit of pre-planning that we had on this trip was all planned by Frank. And so I was kind of just along for the ride, and I'd show up at a new city and we'd be like, oh, where are we staying? What hotel are we going to be at? I really didn't know anything going into it. But I think our hotel here in Beijing was actually a surprise for both of us. And in that, I think Frank had just thought, hey, I want to book something near Tiananmen Square. So we're at the center of the city. We're near some of the interesting tourist attractions that we want to be at. But I don't think he really knew the location exactly that we were going to be staying at. And to be specific, our hotel was on Dashilan Street, which is this cool alley. As we were driving to the hotel in our Didi, which is the Chinese version of Uber, I saw glimpses of it. We sort of drove around the area first to get there. Our car couldn't actually get us to where our hotel was at. And I even said something to Frank, like, wow, this is a really cool area. We got to come back here while we're staying here in Beijing, because it just looked like such a cool little area. There's a lot of really old architecture, a lot of interesting things to look at. And you could just see it as we were driving by. And it turned out that's where we were staying. Our hotel was right here on Dashilan. And it was just such a fun place to get to be at, because we could just walk out of our hotel room and there was just what I've kind of described it as to people since then is it felt like a little bit like a fair. A lot of people out walking around, a lot of street food, a lot of little shopping you could do. It was an easy place to find souvenirs to bring home. And there was just a ton of street food and interesting things to look at. And it was just an incredibly vibrant location. There was always people there, always people coming there. And I think it was just a location in Beijing that people went to on a regular basis because it was interesting and fun and a cool place to go. The second location, actually, which tied right into it, was Qianmen Street, which is another completely car-free streetway. There's a streetcar on it, but it's really just a full pedestrian walkway. And between Dashilan and Qianmen Street, there was just so much to see. And it was all within walking. Qianmen was within walking distance, and obviously our hotel was right on Dashilan Street. And there was just a lot of cool, interesting things. And every place we ate over the next several days while we were there in Beijing, unless we were on one of the tours and we were out with the tour group, we ate there on either Dashilan or Qianmen Street because it was just great food and a lot of great things to see. Now, the other thing that was great about it was such a cool place after dark. I've just felt like after dark, everything lit up. There was cool lights. And I think that maybe that's where I really got the sort of idea or feeling that this was a carnival or fair type atmosphere, because everything was lit up. Everything was bright and shiny with cool lights and lots of street food. And I think we just got really lucky that this is where we stayed, because it just, any time of day we could walk out of our hotel. There was a Luckin Coffee right literally across the street from our hotel. But you could just go out and walk around and look and hey, do I want to get some lunch? We could walk down there. Hey, do I want to get dinner? Let's find a interesting place to eat dinner at. And there was just a lot of stuff to see, and it was a great place to stay at. The first restaurant that I'm going to talk about that we ate at may have been our favorite restaurant. And it was Brick Factory 69. And I'm saying favorite just because we ate there almost every day. Specifically, we got some of the lamb skewers, and you could actually get these from the walk-up window on the outside without actually going into the restaurant, or you could go into the restaurant like we did here. And get some. Also notice the coffee cups there. That is our Luckin Coffee that we picked up before going into the restaurant. But this was a great restaurant. The lamb skewers, amazing. I could eat them literally every day. I would eat lamb skewers like this, the way they're seasoned. literally every day they were delicious. By the way, this restaurant is listed in the Michelin guide, and this is a chain. There were several of them along in the sort of Dashilan, Qianmen area. And we did eat there multiple times, though. It wasn't just for lamb skewers. We actually went in and had noodles there several times. I actually have one of my TikTok clips from the trip was of one of the servers doing sort of tableside service for us, mixing our noodles up for us so that we got them prepared the right way. And this was a great restaurant. This, again, probably our favorite just because we ate there the most. And this one was right across from our hotel also. But lamb skewers almost every day. I think we were in Beijing for 5 days. I bet we had lamb skewers 4 of those days, either as a snack or with a meal. And this was a great restaurant. Probably, I think the only time I've ever been at a Michelin rated, or not rated, but listed restaurant ever before. So cool place to stop at. Like that, the little handle in the cup there?
Yeah. She's like, bro, it's inside. I'm like, okay.
Dad, don't you know anything?
I don't even know what it is. I think it's yogurt. Watch out. Definitely good.
Yeah? What's the flavor? What's the, like a custard? Okay.
You want to get one?
No. I'll get one. I will get one before we leave. I'll try one.
All right.
It's on the to-do list. Now that you made sure that it.
Have a couple of these for sure.
Now that you made sure it's not like onion flavored or something weird.
I'm definitely gonna have a couple of these for sure. I was hoping it was the almond one.
Okay.
Not what I thought it was. $8. What is that again?
Dollar? Oh, eight. Like a dollar and change. The next restaurant we went to specialize in Peking Duck, and I just want to focus. We were going to talk a little bit here about how amazing the menu at this restaurant is.
I mean, look how beautiful it is. So we're in Beijing. This is
amazing.
We're in Beijing, thus Peking Duck. That's why we're here.
But look at the size of the pictures. It's beautiful.
Look how beautiful. Hopefully the food. Oh, it does look like what it looks like. And it's good. It's all English, right? So you don't have to be worried.
Oh, wait. Right? I thought you just said I needed the translator.
Look at how you order it.
Oh, yeah. I got a book, too.
Like the sizes, there's difference.
Yeah.
Right? Man.
Man, this is dope. This is the biggest, literally, this is not just the biggest menu I've ever seen. It's like 2 times bigger than the biggest menu I've ever seen.
And the best looking pictures.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah. This is, you know what? This is. I'm gonna say something that's gonna upset you. This menu right here, that is the menu that Cheesecake Factory aspires to, and they don't actually do. Because you love Cheesecake Factory. I know you love it. I know it's your favorite restaurant. You probably love it even more than you're gonna love this.
I would love this if it didn't have all this spice.
Oh my god, dude, that amount of spice looks like it would just like kill someone.
Golden garlic sweet beans, stir-fried beef. Bro, that is like the bomb right there.
This is the last restaurant that we ate at in Beijing. We actually ate here multiple times, but it's the last one I'm going to cover in this video. If you saw on the doorway there, it said 1903 over it. This restaurant was built in 1903 after the fires that sort of ravaged the Qianmen and Dashilan area around that time. So this restaurant has been here for over 100 years. We ate here twice. And and it was a really good experience. So we ended up going back more than once. And this is a hot pot restaurant, very traditional hot pot restaurant. Here in the next clips, the next few little bits, Frank's going to talk about hot pot, how we ate it, how it gets consumed. This is a hot pot, traditional hot pot, right?
Yep.
All right.
Chinese style hot pot.
And we think there's like hot coals inside of this chimney. Dude, this is like, it's like boiling. It's crazy. Yep. All right. So what's in the pot right now?
I think those are just herbs and stuff.
Like, so I see some mushrooms.
Yep.
Little maybe.
Very traditional herbs and stuff.
Yeah.
You got your.
It looks like celery, but I think it's like an onion slice. Okay.
Your garlic oil, cilantro, green onion. This is called barbecue sauté sauce. You're gonna love that.
Okay.
Some fresh chili oil.
All right, and then we got a bunch of vegetables.
Medley.
Like
carrots underneath and some noodles, rice noodle, corn.
Okay.
And I think this is all we got, and then one order of beef.
Okay. We're not overdoing it.
But if you love the beef, we can order more different kind of beef. So.
All right. So what do we? Because I think a lot of people that are going to watch this don't know what to do with this.
Oh.
If they were here.
You put everything in.
I know what to do it.
Oh, you just cook it yourself.
And you just put stuff in the pot.
Yep.
Whatever you want. So we'll put some garlic in there.
And just put the beef in for a few seconds. Yeah. 10 to 12 seconds. Okay. That's it. Dip the beef in the sauce.
So this is all just for dipping.
Yeah. Well, usually we get our own little. Ask for some bowls so we can mix our own sauce.
Okay. Okay.
But
and then we'll cook the vegetables in there and the beef in there.
Yep.
And it'll all be good. All right.
This is what they call hot pot.
Dude, the steaming bowl. That's insane, dude.
Load that, load this, mix it all together, and green onion on the bottom.
Okay.
Sauté sauce. I'm not even going to put the chili oil on, but I'm going to use the oil, and then that's that. Nice long chopsticks.
Ooh, chili oil is actually hot. It surprised me.
Oh, it is? I didn't know that.
Like the containers, like it's been heated.
You just start loading these on your side. Up to you how long you want to cook it. Since you had a hankering for corn.
Yeah. I know watching that guy that like corn down there looked good. All right, one comment on this. The corn wasn't good. It's the only thing that we ate in all of China that I actually wasn't fond of. The corn, it was a little bit stale. It was chewy. It was not fresh enough. It's the only thing that falls into that category, but I was a little disappointed with the corn. I'm guessing these vegetables cook pretty quick, like the lettuce type stuff.
You don't need to keep them in too long. The veggies should be good just by themselves with the sauce. How did you try it with the sauce?
Not yet. Oh. Pulling out some of the first ones because they're probably sort of lettucey looking guys.
Nice and healthy, right?
Yeah. But so this is more of a broth. I feel like when we've done the hot pot, like the other hot pot, it's been more of an oil.
Yep. Definitely my top 3 favorite things in the world to eat. Hot pot. Really nice vegetables, huh?
Mm-hmm. Be good fiber addition to our diet. Very, very healthy.
Not too long.
Well, at this point, I think you could watch us eat hot pot for the rest of the night if I just let this video keep going. I don't know that makes a lot of sense. It's not going to be super entertaining from the rest of this point on. We're mostly just eating and not talking. So if you like this video, I hope you did. Please like and subscribe. And if you want to see more, there's several more videos and cities coming up. The next one I'm going to be going over all of the sites that we saw around Beijing, and then we'll go to Xi'an and we'll talk about the Terracotta Warriors and Shanghai Disney. And then I'm probably after that going to get back to a couple of the projects around here that I've been working on. So again, like and subscribe if you like this, if you want to see more, and we will see you later. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you again soon.